Hey, welcome to this week's EA Kids service. It is great to be back with you. It's been a couple weeks since we've had a new one, and so I am looking forward to this week's service. We're going to kick things off with a brand new song for our EA Kids, Your Love Awakens Me. It's a great, fun, energetic song. So we're going to start off with the song and then followed immediately by game time, and then we're going to go right into this week's corny joke time. It's going to be a blast. So first things first is the song, Your Love Awakens Me. I want you to stand up. I want you to sing along with the words on the screen, and let's have a great time praising the Lord. Okay, here we are for our game this week. Camden and Braden are volunteering, sort of, to do our game. So here's the game. I have 10 eggs, numbered 1 through 10. 8 of them are hard-boiled eggs. 2 of them are not. So Camden and Braden will pick a number for the egg, and then they will grab the egg and smash it on their forehead. And if it's hard-boiled, then no big deal. If it's not, it's gonna be a big mess. All right, here we go. Who's gonna go first? Brady, you're gonna go first? All right, which number do you want?
6.
You want number 6? Okay. Go. Go. Cam? Number 8. Number 8. Here we go. Smash it up. Well, that was quick. All right. Well, it doesn't matter now. Here, why don't you just do a hard-boiled egg? So for this week's corny joke time, we're gonna have Alexa versus Siri. So we're gonna have 5 rounds, and we'll have one of them go first, the other one go next, and then decide which one wins that round, and we'll see which one is the winner at the end. Siri, tell me a joke.
What kind of dog can jump higher than a building? All of them. Buildings can't jump.
Alexa, tell me a joke.
What kind of socks does a pirate wear? Arr! Guile.
For this round, I'm going with Siri as the winner. Next round. Siri, tell me a joke.
I'm listening.
Tell me a joke.
I asked my friend to explain to me what an acorn is. They said it's an oak tree in a nutshell.
Alexa, tell me a joke.
Why did NASA launch a burrito into space? To intercept the flying salsa.
Okay, I'm going with Alexa for the winner on that one. Round number 3. Siri, tell me a joke.
How can I help?
Tell me a joke.
Kid joke alert. What did the plate say to the refrigerator? Stay cool. Dinner's on me.
Alexa, tell me a joke.
Why can't you tell a kleptomaniac a joke? Because they always take things literally.
Ooh, both of those are pretty bad. I'm still going to go with Alexa as the winner on that one.
Right now in Livermore, it's 67 degrees Fahrenheit with mostly cloudy skies.
Nobody asked you
Tonight's
the weather.
forecast has mostly clear skies, with a
Nobody
low of
asked
57
you.
degrees. By the way, you can also ask me for other weather
No,
information.
I didn't ask
For now,
you that.
would you like to know the humidity?
No, thank you. All right, this round number 4, is going to be knock-knock jokes. Siri, tell me.
Yes.
Tell me a knock-knock joke.
Knock knock.
Who's there?
Candace.
Candace who?
Can this be true? You don't remember me. Hee hee. Keep going.
No.
Okay.
Alexa, tell me a knock-knock joke.
Okay. When I say knock knock, you say, who's there? Knock knock.
Who's there?
Lettuce.
Lettuce who?
Let us in. It's cold outside.
Terrible. Going with Siri as the winner of that one. So it's 2-2. This is the final round. This will determine the champion of our joke battle. Here we go. Siri, tell me a
How can I help?
funny joke.
Why did the dolphin cross the bay? To get to the other tide.
Alexa, tell me a funny joke.
Why are monkeys great at sports? They're born champions.
All right. I'm going with Alexa there on round number 5. So that means Alexa is our champion for the week. Alexa, you won.
Sorry, I'm not sure.
Alexa, you're the winner.
Sorry, I'm not sure.
Alexa, how does it feel to be the best?
Here's something I found on the web. According to
See you
CNN.com,
later.
The sun comes up, it's a new day dawning. It's time to sing your song again. Whatever may pass and whatever
So you can see on my TV, there's a fire. And I love sitting by the fire. We have a fire pit out in our backyard. How many of you guys at home have a fire pit or maybe a fireplace? And I love just sitting by the fire, listening to the crackling of the logs burning, and it's just peaceful and relaxing. And it got me thinking the other night while we were sitting out by our fireplace outside, out by our fire pit, I started thinking about fire in the Bible, and oftentimes fire is used as an illustration of testing or trials, someone going through a hard time for a reason. And I started thinking about different stories in the Bible of characters that we're very familiar with who went through these times of testing and trials. And let's think of some of them together. Joseph. Remember the story of him, and he was sold into slavery by his brothers, and that would be very tough. How about David? Think about the things that happened to David. He was betrayed by his king. He was betrayed by his best friends, his mighty men. He was betrayed by his own son at one point. That's how bad things were for David. How about Job? We know the story of Job. He lost everything. God had trust and faith in him that he would be faithful through the trials, and Job lost everything in his life. How about Daniel? We know the story of Daniel with the lion's den, and he went through a time of testing. Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, and that's one I really was thinking of the other night when we were sitting out by the fire, and I was just, if you get too close to a fire, how it burns. And if you've ever been burnt before, maybe on the stove or on a match, it hurts really badly. Imagine how scared they were. And then we think of the disciples. When Jesus returned back to heaven and the disciples were building the church in Jerusalem, and they were persecuted and put into prison, and eventually most of them would be martyred, would be put to death because they were faithful to Jesus. And all of these people have something in common in their life, and that is this, that God was making them better by putting them through a time of testing, through the fire. God was making them better, and he wasn't making them stronger, like physically. He wasn't making them taller, better looking. He was making them better. He was making them more like him. He was making them depend on him more. In fact, think about it. When they were going through these testings and trials, they had to learn to trust only on God. And think of those stories. Daniel being thrown into a den of lions. He had no survival skills, no ninja skills, no weapons that he could rely on. He had to rely solely and only on God to take him through that. And especially I think of the 3 Hebrew children, again, as we were talking about the fire, been thrown into the fiery furnace. Boy, what a scary event, a scary situation, being thrown into a fire. And yet they stood faithful against King Nebuchadnezzar, and God came into the fire with them and brought them out of it. But if they had not been totally dependent and totally faithful to God through that time, they would have never have learned the trust, and they would have never grown that close to God. And not only that, but think of all the people in the story that then turned to God because they saw that faithfulness. And then I think of Job, and I want to read a couple verses to you out of Job in chapter 23 and verse number 8 and 9 and 10. It says, "Look," and this is Job talking. He's talking about how bad things are in his life. He says, "Look, I go forward, but he is not there, and backward, but I cannot perceive him. When he works on the left hand, I cannot behold him. When he turns to the right hand, I cannot see him." And listen to verse 10. "But he knows the way that I take. When he has tested me, I shall come forth as gold." If you are going through things in your life, which you will, even as children, as teenagers, as adults, you will go through things in your life. and maybe your parents are going through things, but God is testing you. God is putting you through something so that you can learn to depend on Him. It's not how smart you are, the grades you make, not how good of an athlete you are. It's learning to put total dependence on Him to get you through those times. And then I want to read you one other verse that kind of reminds me of the fire, and that's in 1 Peter. And of course, Peter being one of the disciples, and we know that Peter went through testing, and history would tell us that Peter himself was killed for being a Christian, for being faithful to the Lord. And listen to what it says in 1 Peter chapter 4 and verse number 12. It says, "Beloved, do not think it strange concerning the fiery trial which is to try you, as though some strange thing happened to you, but rejoice to the extent that you partake of Christ's sufferings, that when His glory is revealed, you may also be glad with exceeding joy." And Peter is just saying, listen, you're going to go through testing, you're going to go through trials. Stay faithful, count on God, don't think it's strange. It's a part of the Christian life, going through things, but when you come through it, having been faithful to God, God will get the glory, and then you'll be glad about that. And that's the whole point, is for God to get the glory. To finish off our lesson this week, I have a quick little cartoon that I want you to watch about the 3 Hebrew children.
Nebuchadnezzar, Babylonian king, thought he was mighty, but was a ding-a-ling. He built an image, made it out of gold, gathered the people and said,
"Behold, I've got this image, and when the music plays, you all must bow down, and if you don't obey, I've got this furnace burning hot with fire. I'll throw you in there, you will expire."
The people in the land did just as they were told. The music started playing, they bowed before the gold. They feared the brutal king, what he promised he would do. Everybody, they obeyed him, everybody but a few. What will you do when you're put to the test? Will you obey God or bow down like the rest? He won't forsake you, he'll be your best friend. He's proven faithful time and time again. Shadrach and Meshach and Abednego heard the king's order, but they all said no. No. Nebuchadnezzar, heaping, hopping mad.
So you won't bow down? Well, I'll make you wish you had.
Our God can save us, this we know is true.
I'll work you all up.
And if He doesn't, we still won't listen to you. We heated up the fire, 7 times as hot. The soldiers threw them in, were burned right there on the spot. The king looked in the fire, looked and was amazed. There were 4 instead of 3 standing in the fiery blaze.
Exit the fire and come talk to me. I don't smell smoke. How can that be? Your God has delivered you. I'm gonna give you better jobs with a lot better pay. What will you do when you're put to the test? Will you obey God or bow down like the rest? He won't forsake you, he'll be your best friend.
He's proven faithful time and time again.
Hope you enjoyed this week's EA Kids service. I've had a blast. Before we go, I have a very special treat for you. I've been saving it for the very end. I have a cousin, and we just call him Cousin Fred. So I know he wouldn't care if you call him Cousin Fred as well. And he is a very talented musician. Probably the best musician that I know personally. And he has been recently, he's been asked to take part and to work on the soundtrack for Frozen 3. That movie's not even out yet. Hardly anybody even knows about it yet. But he is working on the music for it. So I asked him, I knew you guys would enjoy it. I asked him if he would put together a special performance for you. And I knew you would enjoy it. So if you like Frozen movies, you're really going to like this, but I'm just telling you, he's really good. And Cousin Fred, he may do some more for us in the future if you like it. So you have to let me know and I'll pass it on to him. But Cousin Fred, I want you to watch this, and then that'll be the end of our service for this week. So leaving you on just, man, it's just going to be great. Cousin Fred, here we go.